Afternoon, everybody. I actually joined GBM Resources through my own choice. I recognised how good these assets were, and I wanted to be the geologist running this, and I wanted to be the geologist making the discoveries here. So we have 1.84 million ounces in the Drummond Basin. 90% of that is on existing MLs. So corporately, I guess we've been going sideways for a few years now. In 2022, a con note was taken out to sort of secure these assets and also pay off a lot of environmental bonds. There's really been an overhang for the company for the past few years, even in the strong gold market, and I think it's really stopped investors from coming in. Prior to the con note, the market cap was around $60 million with around 1.3 million ounces of gold. We're in the final stages of sort of sorting that out, and then from there on it will be exploration hopefully, and then with a push towards mining. We're in the Drummond Basin, so we've got 3 projects there. Newmont is on one of them with a 75% farm-in. Currently they haven't hit 51% yet, but they've spent $10.6 million and they're still active. At Twin Hills we announced a 70% farm-in with a Hong Kong group. We get $6 million cash, which will hopefully cover the con note, $6 million exploration spend, and we can pretty much spend that on anything we want, and that will be solely geared to making a discovery there. Post that, there's a realization that they're going to have to drill out those resources up to 60 or 70,000 meters with a push towards mining. They're on existing MLs, those projects. We'll run through them in a moment, but it's just super exciting. And then we'll retain 100% of Yandan, which for me is my favorite personally, and is more of a classic epithermal. To the north of us, we have Pajingo. I think they're currently around 5 million ounces, making around $130 million a year. But the key thing is with epithermal gold, once you start mining, typically these resources grow and grow and grow. Waihi's an example of that, and Pajingo is too. So we hope to sort of continue in that trend, and I'll run you through the geology in a moment. You can see here that through the years we've been growing these resources. A lot of the holes weren't actually assayed for gold at Lone Sister, so we re-assayed that, came up with better geological models to just help sort of constrain mineralization. And you can see there most of our resources are in measured and indicated, around 60%. But we sort of hope to advance that, but we also, we want to find more gold. There's a realization that, I mean, the gold price is amazing at the moment, but when it's a bit softer, you know, we need another 500,000 ounces, and then these projects become a no-brainer. Yandan and East Hill, we will retain 100% of. We have a resource there of just under 500,000 ounces on an existing ML with 200,000 ounces at around 5.9 grams per ton at East Hill, down a bit deeper. Ross Mining mined this in the 1990s for 365,000 ounces, and it was one of the lowest cost gold mines in Australia during that period. We've been going through the old data. Fortunately for me, we've sort of had a year of going sideways, so I've had a lot of time to pull everything together, really understand what's happening, remodel the old data. Dave McGuinness, who's responsible for a number of discoveries, has been doing all the geophysics. And what is clear is that IP shows up mineralization very clearly. The last IP done was in 1987. Currently, you know, we can look a lot deeper. So this is a cross-section through South Pit and Yandan Main Pit here. I dug up the old geological maps recently, and what was clear is that in the western side of that pit, mineralization was being fed from somewhere, high silica alteration, a lot of quartz veining, and a lot more gold. Our main focus is to find where this gold is coming up. In epithermal gold deposits, these feeder zones are the prize. And you see at East Hill, which is just off section, you know, you're getting intercepts of 190 meters at 4 grams drilling across these vein sections. So it's super exciting. With Yandan, we're going to be very systematic, do our geophysics, build up our regional exploration, and then go and drill it with the hope of making the discovery down deep there. This is East Hill, which is about 200 meters, 300 meters from the main pit. Discovered in around 2005. In 2021, GBM drilled beneath that generator fault, and we hit the repeat stratigraphy. So for the first time, we realized that that was a post-mineral fault. Bear in mind the bottom intercept there across that vein is 44 metres at 14 grams per tonne with a wider intercept of 190 at 4. There's another drill hole that ends in 2.5 metres at 500 grams per tonne. So there's real potential. All the geology is pointing to us getting down into that feeder vein, and then we interpret that fault as post-mineral. Within those sedimentary horizons, there were epithermal vein clasts within the conglomerate or agglomerate. So it clearly shows that there's been erosion, deposition of the clast, and then this post-mineral faulting. So there's a big prize down there, and we want to go drill it, we want to go hit it, but we just have to be patient and systematic. To the south of Yandan, on the same tenement, but not on a mining lease, we have Ilamata, which is the biggest hydrothermal system on all our tenure. 55,000 ounces on surface, and this is just open. It's part of a sort of 3K by 1K epithermal system or alteration system with gold and arsenic in soils. A little bit of shallow drilling over the top, but it's just had no love. And we plan to give it some. But typically in epithermals, you want to be down into the andesite where things tighten up, and that's really where you get the grades above 10 grams per tonne. And you can see at Pajingo, most of their deposits were sort of 13 to 15 grams per tonne in grade, so really high grades. And regionally, there's a lot of targets, a bit like what you get around Charters Towers, a lot of golden soils over these magnetic lows, which are intrusions coming up, and some shallow drilling, but again, no one's really thought about things in depth. And soils led to the discoveries of all the deposits here. Not much has really been done since the early 2000s, and soils only cover around 8% of the project. So our key aim, we've already reprocessed all the geophysics, coming up with targets, and then again building from the ground up with the hope of making a discovery. Next up is the Twin Hills Gold Corridor. So this is subject to a farm-in, which has been announced. 6 million cash, which hopefully will cover the con note. 6 million free spend for us to try and make a discovery. For me, that's risk capital. And our JV partner will be 30% free carried to decision to mine, but we want to force their hand that they'll have to drill out any discovery that we make. But we're going to have a good shot at it. You can see some of the drill intersections there, 146 metres at 9.8 grams per tonne at Lone Sister, 140 at 5 at Twin Hills. This is drilling across these breccia pipes. The potential for high grade here is unbelievable. And when you look down dip of these, you just get more and more excited as a geologist. This map here actually is a hybrid between magnetics and IP. So in epithermal gold, you're often resistive because of the quartz veining, and you're often a magnetic low because of the hydrothermal fluids coming up and destroying the magnetite. And what's really clear from this map is that the two 500,000 ounce deposits can be predicted on this map. You can see in dark blue where they sit, and you can also see a number of other targets that we have. We're going to start commencing soils over those pretty soon, and also just building them up geologically, then some geophysics, and then going to drill them. We're super excited, and you can see from Pajingo, that 7.5 k's long. These systems are really big, and these deposits are a small part of a big system, and that's why they're so exciting. 309 actually was mined in 2006. They put a decline down to 170 meters. The geological model was pretty bad, and they sort of ran into trouble. Bear in mind the gold price was around 500 Aussie an ounce, and that got shut down. One key takeaway for us is that this is an open pit scenario. This pit here is modelled at around 2,500 Australian, and it's clear that will push a lot deeper. Some of the bottom intercepts there, 54 at 4.63, 49 at 5, and this is fully open. There's other holes sort of off section, which are 16 metres at 2.8, that have never been followed up. So again, it's just been systematic. We have full drill plan for this. We aim in the first 18 months to sort of drill beneath this and see how deep it goes. Can we add easy ounces, and then sort of move on to a focus on mining and drilling out these resources. All that will be covered by the JV partner, so we can sit back, we'll operate, and hopefully advance it towards mining. South of 309, this is IP resistivity again. You can see 309 south there. Some really nice soils above, some golden drilling, but nothing has gotten deep enough. This is our top target. We're talking about possibly doing 3D seismic, which was highly successful at Pajingo. One, to drill the depths of 309 and also to extend to 309 south. The second deposit, Lone Sister, sits about 5 k's to the south of Twin Hills. All part of the same system. There's actually quite a bit of fluorite in these systems. Just the host rocks are completely different. So 309 is an eruption breccia, so veining is a bit every which way, whereas Lone Sister is hosted within a rhyolite. The ore is really homogeneous throughout, and some of the grades here are absolutely mind-blowing. I actually modeled a cylinder down the high grade, and what became clear and obvious is that drill, 20 meters at 4.32, is the only drill hole in that cylinder, and is just fully open. We had investors on site, and they were just asking us, why aren't you drilling there now? So a lot of obvious drill targets. We want to do a bit of groundwork first, a bit of geophysics, because it's our chance to do that. And then from then on, I imagine it'll be drilling, and hopefully we won't stop drilling. This is a rough timeline of, I guess, our company strategy. We have Newmont on one joint venture, so we'll be getting news flow there. We're sort of hoping they find less than 3 million ounces, so that will be better for us. And then at the same time, Twin Hills will be getting news flow from the joint venture that we funded, and then at the same time, Yandan. And we'll have money coming in, so if Newmont hits 51%, we'll get a bit of money back from the environmental bonds, et cetera, but just with Yandan is just a slow build with the aim of it being the company maker, I guess, and there's certainly a prize there. We have a number of other assets. We're in the final stages of divesting. Mount Morgan, we're currently divesting. Cloncurry, Nippon just pulled out of a joint venture there that's immediately north of Ernest Henry. So we're looking at getting out of that and also selling White Dam. So hopefully we'll get a bit of cash flow from divestment. And yeah, as a geologist, I'm very excited. But once this corporate and con note issues sorted out, I think it's really blue skies ahead. So it should be fun. Cheers.